I'm going to take a quick take first from Aditi on what is your assessment of the exit polls, with the regular caveats that these are definitely not the results. But do you think it's giving us a sense that the BJP is, when it fights on Modi's name, is fairly comfortable? Because that's the cue that the markets are wondering.
Well, first of all, yes, of course, whichever election BJP fights on Prime Minister's name, it has an added edge. But it fought in the Prime Minister's name in Telangana, where the exit polls are not giving it a very good response. It also fought with the Prime Minister's name very much in Mizoram, where BJP is nowhere. So this election is more about what puzzles me about the exit poll outcome is the fact that welfare has not worked uniformly. Governments spend a lot on welfare. This is an issue which matters a lot to the markets, because if government spending goes up on seemingly unproductive spending, then it has less by way of spending on the real issues and particularly on reform. So in Madhya Pradesh, for instance, a lot of money was spent in the Ladli Behna scheme, which is basically a kind of a cash transfer for women. And Madhya Pradesh, the BJP seems to have done very well. So this scheme clearly has been very popular, despite very high levels of corruption, which were reported during this election campaign, which the Congress has made a big cause celebrate. Similarly, in Chhattisgarh, welfare spending has shown results, but it has not shown the same results in Telangana, where enormous amounts of money was spent on welfare by the BRS, but the BRS is clearly losing on. So this is a fact which is puzzling me somewhat.
Right.
And I think we need more research to get to the bottom of this.
Fair enough. So there's no one-size-fits-all kind of takeaway that we can have on the face of it. Chakri, what would markets be looking at? Rajasthan was factored in, one presumes, but if BJP does come back in Madhya Pradesh after 4 terms, after not really fighting the election on a very strong chief minister's face like Shivraj Singh Chauhan, but making it about Prime Minister Modi with a good margin, is that something markets will respond positively to as per the exit polls?
Good morning. The markets have been moving in the last 1 or 2 years based on the very strong infrastructure spend that the central governments and state governments have been spending in various states. Now, on the back of that, in the current, as long as BJP retains its Madhya Pradesh, and if there is a surprise in Rajasthan, then it's a clear positive, because they are big states in terms of their contribution to Rajya Sabha seats, and that helps the center to pass bills that it needs to. So outside of that, I think Telangana is a surprise if it turns out to be true, and because it's been a state which has been contributing to the national GDP. It's one of the top states in terms of GDP growth. Mizoram is small, so as long as MP retains Rajasthan, there is a positive surprise there. In that case, the markets like it.
Yeah. So between Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, you're going to have about 54 Lok Sabha seats. And interesting to note that BJP was never a real contender in Telangana. Chakri, are you looking at it this way, that the BRS, which is the incumbent government, would have supported the BJP more in policy decisions? What exactly are the cues that market is looking for today?
You're right, Tamanna, in terms of that, while BRS has been a neutral party, it has kind of supported BJP on some of the major bills or abstained. So from that perspective, it has kind of been a help from that perspective on policy decisions. From that perspective, that's the only perspective in which the markets would look at it. But as long as I think Rajasthan and MP are in the back, that should be good for the market.